What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brian, the Casual Brian, coming to you live from TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, not Instagram, sorry, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. I do read One Punch Man. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I just coming on really today to talk you through my match. Got the video footage right here, and then I'm just going to go through the video footage. Also, talk about the prep, all the things that went into this match. It was a very, very tough situation. Um, but all in all, it was a lot of fun and I learned a lot. I feel like I grew a lot. So let me just start from the beginning. And if you see me looking to the side, I'm also live on TikTok, so I'm answering questions there. I don't even know. So I do jujitsu, and I had a jujitsu match yesterday. So that's what I'm talking about. So starting off, um, I took a match, a super fight on an MMA card. It was like it's just like all kinds of martial arts. There was boxing, there was kickboxing, there was grappling, and then there was MMA. MMA was the main event. Um, and I felt pretty good. I just competed pretty recently. I want to say about 3-4 weeks ago, and I did really well at that. So I felt really good. Um, but it was just a matter of getting to the fight healthy and so on and so forth. I'm well underweight. I took a fight at 195. I think currently I'm around 185, 184 maybe. I don't know exactly. Um, but I actually was kind of going back and forth. I was like, should I try to put on some weight? Because 10 pounds is a lot. And at the beginning of last Friday, I weighed in at 182. And I was a little concerned. I was like, I think that's a little too much to be giving up. But I train with people in my gym, and they're bigger than me. I've trained with people bigger than me, and I don't have a problem. So I say, I'm not going to worry about it, because I was trying to gain weight, and I was like, I don't want to get here and have to worry about weight. Now, weight turned out to not be an issue at all. But I just really wanted to make sure I felt good. I felt great in training all week long. I made an effort to train with some harder people. So I tried to pick out harder people. And I also tried to pick out bigger people, which wasn't necessarily harder, because the bigger people at our school tend to be small, lower belts. But I still just wanted to deal with both people that were really good and people that were bigger, so I can get used to dealing with both. Had a really great session. My last session on Thursday, I felt great about it, and so yeah, I got there. But the one thing that happened during the week, this week, I re-injured my shoulder, and I was very, very concerned about that. Yo, what's up? Because I hurt my shoulder in the summer training for Worlds, and I re-injured it somehow this week. And it didn't even like really, nothing really happened that made me realize, oh, my shoulder's messed up. It just, one day it started to like ache and it started to feel sore. So anyway, I was a little concerned about that, because I can like right now I can barely lift it up, and I've taken pain medicine. I have a patch on it. Actually, I took the patch off because I need to put a new one on. So anyway, I did win. I did win. Um, cutting right to the chase. So yeah, I did get the win, but yeah, I felt pretty good. I felt pretty confident. You never want to take anyone for granted, but I just felt like where I'm at right now, I think I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good for my level, and someone has to really, really, really be on it to get me right now. And it sounds bragging. I don't think it's bragging. I think it's earned confidence. There's definitely a lot of people out there at my belt in my gym. I wouldn't even say I'm the best purple belt. That's my goal, to be the best purple belt at my gym. We don't really do records because, each, well, no, they do records. It's weird. They don't really do records because, like each, so like let's say the last thing I did, this yesterday was one match. But the thing I did before that, that was like, I don't know. I had 4 matches. You can have up to 5 or 6 matches, in one day. So it's not like they really do records. It's more like, if I compete at Worlds, do I medal? And if I medal, what was my medal? So like in the last event, I got a silver and I got a bronze. So it's kind of like that. So I don't know if that answers your question. So anyway, I got here, I got there, I showed up. The guy looked very strong. I wasn't nervous because I still faced strong people. I've faced bigger people, and I train with some of the best jiu-jitsu people in the world. So I still felt pretty confident. Just hoping my shoulder was good. Match went well. My body today feels like I got hit by a truck, and that's because the guy was so good. But that's kind of a talk up into it. I learned a lot. The 2 days before I headed back to Orlando, the event was in Orlando. I spent some time with my good friend Carlos, and we were just doing a lot of talk about mindset. Like the mindset of like a Kobe Bryant or a Steph Curry. How many fights have I won? 5 this year, maybe 5 out of like 8, I think, something around there. But yeah, it's just the mind. I'm really right now. I'm really all about mindset. When I was getting ready for this last competition, not the one I did. Thanks, Pete. It was good to see you, man. I wish we could have hung more, man. You were kind of in and out. Shout out to Pete, Signature Custom Homes. You balling out, you need to holler at Pete because he can get you hooked up with a beautiful custom home. Or anything you need, anything you're trying to upgrade in your life, holler at Pete Zachary. He's the man. Yeah, I'm really just trying to, I really just thought I have to focus on my mindset, because going into the competition, the Friday before, the week before, I had a rough training session, and just everybody there at the gym just smashed me. And I was like really down about it. And I said, it's because my mindset is not on point. And so I just focused. 5-3 is good. It's decent. I mean, I want to do better. And, and again, like I said, for us, I'm not a professional jiu-jitsu person. Hey, auntie. I'm not a professional jiu-jitsu person, but I am competing at the professional level. But I still would have to consider myself a hobbyist. And, but I really want to, I think that the mindset really applies. You know what I mean? It transfers to all different types of things that you're doing. Like in business and relationships, everything. You need to have a mindset that I'm not going to let this happen. I'm going to make it happen. So anyway, I've been talking for an hour, 9 minutes, but I'm going to talk through the fight, try to explain to you kind of what's happening as best as I can. And then maybe if there's any questions afterwards, we can go through the questions. Again, TikTok, I'm sorry, you can't see it. If you're following me on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, you can find it. There's a LinkedIn tree in my bio, so there's still time. And it'll be up on YouTube, so you can actually search it afterwards. But let's get to this fight. Hopefully you can hear the sound. I don't know. Not that you can hear the sound. It's actually probably good that you can hear the sound, because I got like music playing right now. So I went in there and I looked at him, and he looked very, as you can see, I also look serious too, Mark, shout out to Mark, War and Peace. He has a gym. Check it out. Learned a lot from this guy. Love his enthusiasm for jiu-jitsu. Just all fight. So we go out. He didn't shake hands, which was kind of like, you're supposed to do that. I mean, you know, everyone has their thing. It's not that big of a deal. Representing Marcelo Garcia. Right there, when he grabbed me, I was like, he is strong. So I said, all right, we're going to pull guard. Because I was thinking, and I was talking to Bruno, what should I do to start? And he's like, do you know what I'm going to do? I said, I knew in my mind I was going to probably pull guard. Instantly, he starts to pass my guard. I'm like, okay, now I'm going to find out where he's at. Was able to kind of keep him at bay. So I felt good. Got up, able to kind of somewhat sweep him, and then I got him here. Now, right here, this is all fusion. That's all my fusion training right there. And now let me tell you something else. Doing jiu-jitsu with a cage is a completely different experience. Completely. I am so thankful that I was able to train, or that I've been able to train with Julian at Fusion, because that's where I had some sense of how to work. I tried to hit a knee bar here. Scott, shout out to Scott Kaplan. He taught us this knee bar off of a deep half sweep, but I couldn't get it. I don't know what I did wrong. I've been looking at it. I felt his leg extending, and he didn't realize I was doing it until it was too late, but it just wasn't enough. So then I realized, okay, I'm not gonna be able to hit that knee bar. He was kind of hip to me now. So I said, I need to get him down. So what I wanted to try to do was get to my toes and get around. I was trying to kind of get him thinking one way, and I was going to try to go the other way and get him down. Then I felt him starting to get up. So this happened to me actually. I just brought him back over my shoulder. It wasn't quite a sweep. It was almost like a throw, really. And then I was into his close guard. I felt pretty comfortable in his close guard. A little bit casually disrespectful. But one thing I've learned from all my training is that I need to be patient. So right here, that was kind of dangerous. I felt safe because I had his leg, but if he could have definitely hit an omoplata on me. He could have shot a triangle. He opened his guard. He didn't can't do that on me. I'm definitely was able to stabilize pretty good. Now I'm feeling good. Was not happy with myself for letting him get my leg and getting me into half guard again. But once I passed this guard, I felt really confident that we were going to be playing my game for the rest of the way. And we were. Passed his guard again. So if this was in like a IBJJF event, I would have scored for the takedown. I would have scored for passing his guard twice. And now I just need to mount. And, you know, this is a very, very good match for me so far. There's a lot of control happening on my part. But see that? You see how he bridged? That's pure strength right there. Just pure. I have his arms up over his head. And, you know, I'm like heavy hips. And he still bridged me that far up into the air. And Bruno was giving some great advice. And this is one thing that I'm learning. After I compete, and I go back and I watch, I'm able to see things that I should have done. So when he's bridging like that, I need to just go ahead and take his back. Like he's right there, he's already starting to give me his back. And I was so afraid of losing the position or the control that I didn't attack certain things that were there. Like right here, I gotta take his back. But I just felt more comfortable in control. And let me tell you, there was a lot of times where I would never stay in mount like this long. You know, being in mount is a very difficult thing to do. And I guess you can see, look at that bridge. That's insane, man. Right there, I should have taken it. I was upset with myself, even there. So one thing I was doing was kind of, I went for the armbar right there because I felt him getting tired. And what I was doing is I was making that grip and kind of choking him with my forearm. And if I couldn't get the choke, he did a good job by grabbing my arm and relieving the pressure, but I was still getting a good amount of pressure. His left arm is useless. It's not doing anything. So I thought, okay, well, let me see if I can start working towards an arm triangle. Now, with my leg being trapped in his legs in the lockdown, it's not that easy, but I felt pretty confident. So I did a good job. He was able to completely knock me over. just with pure strength and power. But I was able to, follow it. As you progress, you start to be, hey, how are you doing? As you progress, you start to get better at anticipating where things will land. That's kind of the difference between like my jujitsu when I was younger and now. I can feel where we're going to land, where we're going to end up, and so I start to anticipate where I need to be when we finish scrambling. Did I win? Yes, I did get the win. It was very, very difficult. So here's another place where I just tried to. My thought with him was, I need to drain the energy out of him. So a lot of the stuff I was doing was designed to try to drain the energy out of him. So here I have my knee in his belly, and I'm giving him a nasty knee on belly. He's breathing hard. I could go to mount from here, but I wanted to tire him out. I needed to tire him out because I'm telling you, this brother was incredibly strong. I stepped back into mount. I got to get better at that too. Too many times when I'm going into mount, I let people close the gap or close their guard on me, which prevents me from scoring. It also entangles me and it makes my life much more difficult. But as you can see, I'm clearly winning the match. I'm dominating the match. Back into mount. Now he timed that very well. So this is the first adversity I'm facing in the match. I'm on bottom, but I'm feeling still pretty confident because I trust my guard. And one thing I was telling people, I talked to my friend Carlos. Thank you so much. I train a lot. I train 4 days a week, 2 hours a day. Is that there's no place that this guy, I felt that this guy was going to be able to take me that I wouldn't be able to be comfortable because I train, I train with some of the best in the world. And when you have to like deal with that, you're just going to be comfortable. So I felt really good here. He was letting me get space, way too much space. I felt like I just needed to preserve my energy. I was able to get my butterfly hooks in. Now here I made a stupid mistake. I got my hooks in, I'm great. I'm trying to sweep him, but I don't have control of his arm. I also grabbed the cage. It was just like an accident, but I still was able to get him over my head, which allowed me to stand up. His coach was telling him to take my back, and I knew as soon as he tried, I was going to step up, able to turn back into him, grab the leg, and now it's my sweep. And now I'm back on top, and that's the last adversity I face for the rest of the match. Right here, I'm putting my head into his jaw, putting some pressure. You gotta make him uncomfortable. You got to make them uncomfortable. One thing that was kind of crazy about this fight is it was 10 minutes. I've never done more than a 7-minute fight. So I didn't really have a strategy. It was just try to wear on him and know that he's strong, able to get back in the mount. And now he's exhausted. He's completely exhausted, but I'm just like 2 breaths more or less exhausted than him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to be able to put this guy out. But I said, still let me try. I felt like I'm not going to, he's too tired. He won't be able to bridge me anymore. But then you saw that bridge he just did. I mean, it's like, geez, the strength this guy had. But he's a personal trainer, or he does something with, fitness, got back on to mount. So, if this was an IBJJF, 1, it would have only been 7 minutes, and 2, I would have scored a lot of points, a lot. So here was something one thing that I was proud of is that I kept progressing and I kept attacking. I always had to do it carefully because he was strong and he was a very dangerous opponent, but I kept attacking. I tried to isolate his left arm, and then I was going to try to go for a choke, something that I learned from my teacher, Paul Schneider. Oh my God, why can't I remember Paul's last name? But it's a difficult thing to do because it shouldn't be as hard because all your weight's basically on their chest, and it should be very difficult. But I'm telling you, when I tell you the amount of force this man was able to generate. Right here, I was trying to get an arm bar. I was trying to get his arm isolated, but we were being up against the cage. I couldn't get my knee up and get my chest behind him. So then I thought, all right, well, we're pretty much close to the end of the match. I'm just gonna lay on, I'm just gonna lay on him and try to smother him. And so yeah, that's the thing. It's important to stand up because I knew we had more to go. So you don't want to be the person still sitting on the ground. That's going to definitely signal to your opponent that you're tired. So I definitely tried to put my game face on. So what we went into overtime now. So let me, I'm going to get that video up. Give me 1 second. Present video file. So what happens is if nobody wins, add to the stream. All right, let me pause it and explain what happens in overtime. So in overtime, if nobody wins, then they put us into bad positions. Because I was winning the match, I got to choose. So I chose to go first. I didn't really think about the strategy. I've never done this before. I think in the future, I don't know what I'll do. I think actually moving forward, it just depends. In the gi, I think I might next time switch to the back. I feel like I can stay on the back a lot longer, especially with the gi. But yeah, so you get put in a bad position, and then from that bad position, you have to escape. So, and then they time it, and whoever has, and use a maximum 2 minutes. So if I can hold him for the whole 2 minutes, then he has to hold me for the whole 2 minutes. If I can only hold him for a minute, then if he escapes in a minute, then I have less than a minute to escape, and then I win. If I take more than a minute, then he wins. So I chose an armbar, which was probably not the best choice, but you know, I am 39 years old. Yeah. Which a lot of people don't believe, oddly, but it is what it is. I am 39. I think moving forward, I'm going to go with the back, but I chose an armbar, and he was able to escape pretty fast, which was very deflating because it puts a lot of pressure on me to have to get out of whatever he chooses fast. But the one thing is, when I was watching, yes, 39. When I was watching him, so I'll play this first. So I got his armbar. I have to put one arm on the thing. I've never done any of this before. It was great. It's a great learning experience. So I'm feeling good. He's exhausted. I got my foot in. He's going for this escape. But that's where I made my mistake. Instead of leaning back, I should have punched. See, little mistakes. He's out. He's already out. So that was like, I don't even know if that was 20 seconds. Maybe that was 15 seconds or something. I don't know. It was super fast. But I looked at him, and he was exhausted. And I said, anything he picks, I'm blasting out of it. It doesn't matter. I was just praying he didn't choose an armbar because this shoulder is really messed up. And he did it. He chose it back. And I was super thankful because I am very, very, very good at that escapes. It's kind of like the benefit of being bad. So we start. He's about to start us. Go. 2, 3, 4 seconds. It took me 4 seconds to escape, which gave me the win. I was hyped. I was very hyped because I was thinking to myself before we started overtime, I don't want to win this. I don't want to be winning this whole match and then lose in overtime. You know, that would have sucked. That would have sucked so bad. And when he got out of my escape, he did pretty good. He got out pretty fast.
Man, once again, I'm telling you, the excitement that was exciting right there.
But all in all, it was a great event, a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I wanted to put my hand on my knees. I don't know if y'all caught that. And it kind of goes back to what I was talking about with mindset. Now, watch. I want to put my hands on my knees. I'm exhausted. But I heard my coach in my head saying, no, stand up. You know, you got to stand up and be, game face. Even though the match is over,
these guys are excited, man.
You're developing your mind. You know, I could go another 10 minutes.
I
can go another 10 minutes after that. Don't accept. Don't give up. And so yeah, that was my match. That's how I got the dub. It was great, a great experience. thank you so much to Leo for having me on the card. Leo's a great friend. Leo, man, you are killing it, man. From This man is one of the most inspiring people. Let me tell you something. The reason why I really go hard, I push hard with my casual brand content, casual Brian, casual weave, casual everything, is watching him and his events. They've grown so much. Yesterday's card, the event. I mean, I was there for a while, so I went and had lunch with my grandfather and my father. But from what we saw, we had a great time, and everybody was having a great time there too. So I'm definitely going to be looking to get on a couple of more cards next year. I'm going to be doing a lot of competing. So if you didn't get to catch it this time, just know I'm going to be back in Orlando a bunch. I'm going to be in Florida a bunch. I'm going to be doing a bunch of events because, I don't know. I have time right now. One of the benefits of life right now is that I have time. So, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're watching this later, then 6:40, you're watching the rebroadcast. So I'm getting ready to go get off live. I do not have kids, and that's one of the things I'm talking about. I hope to have kids soon, but because I don't have kids, I have time. So yeah, but I don't know how much longer that's going to last because your boy definitely wants some Rugrats running around. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the fight. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. If you have any questions, you can hit me up or you can leave comments and I can try to answer them. But on Facebook, there's definitely two versions of the fight. You can see my version with me giving commentary, and then you can also see just a clean video. But until then, thank you so much, TikTok. Sorry I couldn't give you a lot of eye contact, but I'll be on probably. Actually, no, that's another thing I need to say. I'm taking a week off of socials. I won't be on any of my platforms all week. I just want to rest up mentally, physically, and recharge because I'm going to hit the ground running for 2023. So until then, stay casual. Tons of stuff if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching. I have a ton of content, so check it out. Until then, stay casual.